Hey everyone, I am going to introduce you to this project before we actually start painting. I'm going to show you the materials you're going to need for this project today so you can get those ready before we start painting. So the first thing you're going to need are your paint brushes. You're going to need your palettes, and you guys can see some of you got in your art kits that I sent out to you guys. Some of you got like these little sampler packs with the separate palette cakes. I tried to put them in order as much as possible, but like if they were crazy painted over already and there was a specific color like black painted in a spot, I just put the color black in there. So you're going to have two of these floating out on the outside of your thing. Your bag that I have put together for you. If you got one of these, I sent home an old palette from last year. It's going to be kind of gnarly looking, but at least you have a place to mix your paints. Now, if you were lucky enough to get an official watercolor palette like this, where you can open it, I'll have two brushes in here for you guys. I only have one in this one. But the lid is going to be your palette mixer. So this is going to be the same as this. Technically, it's just this one will have a little less space, but you get like a big fancy actual watercolor palette. So please get out either this or this, depending on what you have. Get that ready. You're going to need a cup of water, and you're going to need a paper towel along with your brushes. So make sure you have all of these things. And then if you look on the module 8, yeah, that's where we are now. So this is going to be posted in module 8. I'm going to have a picture of what all these terms are, and I have separated, I didn't really measure it, but I kind of eyeballed it, separate with an open line. That means two lines that has a space in between so that we don't have our watercolors blending into each other. Now I'll explain why we're doing this a little bit more later. But please have this set up and ready to go before we start to paint. Okay, so please look at the picture that I have, and then I'll type out what each of these numbers are again. But please label each of these squares, and then you're going to be submitting this in the end as your final project. And here's what we did last year. And this, you guys have one piece of paper. These were just scrap pieces of paper that we used last year. You're going to be doing a flat wash, a graduated wash, a wet into wet technique. This one is like the texture you get when you throw salt in here. This one is cling wrap. It kind of looks like a stained glass window. And then here's rubbing alcohol. So you splatter rubbing alcohol in there. Again, please don't drink the rubbing alcohol at home because that's not for human consumption. It is basically a cleaning product. So please make sure the rubbing alcohol is used just for this. And then right here, we're going to have dry brushing, which is, you know, what most people understand watercolor to be. That's what you grew up doing. This one is layering. What happens when you put watercolors on top of each other is like this transparent effect. And then wax resist, which is how you can keep small details bright white if you want it to stay bright white. So everybody should have a white crayon. Those are the other things you're going to need. I'm going to grab those real quick. Okay, you're going to need a white crayon for this, and then please go get your other kits for the rubbing alcohol, the cling wrap, and the salt, which is also in your bag. So let's get started. Go ahead and get that prepped, and then we're going to have 3 different videos explaining what to do next.